have a very interesting relationship with MC anyways.
He's my buddy.
All right.
You know. All right, you know what? It's time to jump into Belshir Vestige, our third and final map in the series. I'm wondering, first of all, how you doing, Canada? And as we jump in the game, who you think's gonna win, Canada? I heard genius. Well, let's jump into game, Kev.
Let's do it, Ben.
Let's do it.
Our final map, as Ben said, is going to be on Belshir Vestige. And Ben, you can go ahead and introduce our lovely players.
I would love to. In the bottom right-hand corner of Belshir Vestige, the red Zerg player, E.G. Jaedong. And his opponent. In the top left-hand corner of Belshir Vestige, the blue Protoss player, his name is Genius.
And for everyone who just joined us, the winner of this series will play against Trap later today. And boy, did Trap look good in that last series,
Boy,
man.
did he.
Trap is a beast.
All the players here are beasts. You know who impressed me the most this morning was Hack.
Yeah, but what? Who called it this morning as well?
This guy. This guy. Roddy was all over that
Hack
one.
played fantastic as well. This is going to be such a good tournament.
We've had so many good games today already. Day one, and it's already been so awesome. It's day one. It's like halfway through the work day, and all of Canada showed up for this event.
Yeah.
You guys
made me worry a little bit about the unemployment rate. It's like, are you okay, guys?
You guys either have way too much vacation time or a serious StarCraft addiction. Kev, Jaedong's not mixing it up at all. He's going to go spawning pool into expansion once more, but Genius is changing things in a big way.
Yep. Quicker gateway expand means, of course, quicker cybercore. It means that it's going to be a little less predictable as well. It's going to be harder for Jaedong to scout in a certain phase of the game. We will see, man. He took a second assimilator. He's not mining of it yet. It's a new strat.
And very noteworthy, those two base timings might be able to come just a little bit faster with this opening. Jaedong with the Overlord Scout sees there's no expansion yet, so he's going to know what's up.
I'm very, very surprised by what Genius is doing. He took both assimilators, but he's only mining off one with all three probes. Okay, now he starts rallying them in. Genius has always had like weird assimilated timings, even back in the days. Once upon a time, Genius was a Protoss player that like almost every Protoss looked up to.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, I'm going to see what Genius is doing, and I'm going to give my own twist to that, or just straight up copy it.
There was definitely a period where he was on top of the world, and probably just the best Protoss on the planet.
Maybe even the best player on the planet in certain phases.
Certainly. Hard to say that's the case these days in the wake of such incredible dominance from some other great Protosses. And I'm thinking of guys like Rain, like MC.
Don't forget about your boy, Ben. Don't forget about you. We have 7 Protoss players here, and all of them are just fantastic and champions in their own way. Actually, I think most of the Protoss players have won championships, other than Trap. And if he's the weakest Protoss, then the rest of the tournament is in for a bad time.
By Sunday, we may have another. Jaedong with a good scout, got a ling up into the main base of Genius. We see Genius expanding as we thought he would. Couple more gates going down, and this does create some frustrating possibilities. 3-gate pressure can win games sometimes by itself.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely important that Jaedong is going to be very active on the map, that he doesn't get surprised. He knows that he's playing against Gateway Expand, so he's getting to speed a little bit quicker as well. Instead
Zergling
of
gets in, but dies to the mothership core. That was very cool, but very
target
unfortunate
follow-up.
at the same time.
You know, a good old, something that Maxhead likes to do a lot, that I still think can be strong as well, is a couple of Phoenixes followed up with a massive Gateway all-in, or just the Void Rays with the charge lots, which I know that Genius is kind of a fan of. But he might make a small poke before actually committing to something like that, just to force out a lot of units from Jaedong and keeping him on a low economy. It might still be 3-base as well, but in the last game it didn't go too well for him.
One thing that worries me for Genius, Kev, is that he does not have a probe out on the map. And if he's going to get a probe out on the map, it's going to go right past Jaedong's Overlord. So he should, in theory, always be able to deal with that. Because there's no way to sneak a probe out unless Genius makes like a Warp Prism, and we can clearly see that's not going to come anytime soon, as it's a Void Ray in production for our Protoss player.
Good Overlord Scout here by Jaedong is going to see it immediately. He can also see that it's a Void Ray in case he wasn't sure about that yet. He's immediately going to drone up quite a bit behind it. He's like, all right, if you're committing to a Stargate and a Void Ray, you can't have that much out on the map or in your natural. That should really scare me. So I should be able to squeeze out a few drones here and there. Yep. Sentry count is climbing as well, man. This is the second sentry already.
And a lot of times that can mean that there is aggression coming.
2 additional gates going down. So
and a lot of times, Kev, that can mean that there is aggression coming. 3 more gates now.
You think, okay, he's going to make a second Void Ray.
It's going to be Void Ray Gateway all in.
Yeah, it's going to be Gateway. No charge, though.
Maybe Void Ray Zealot, the old MC all in.
The Zealots with the +1.
Yeah, well, we're not going to have that this time because there's no forge.
No, that's going to be hard. Unless Genius is a genius and he's able to figure out how to get +1 without a forge.
that would be breaking the meta.
Yes. I'd be copying that build any day of the
This
week.
pylon will allow him to warp in on the low ground. So,
which is something. He's dropping 3 pylons as well, so Genius is definitely going to go all out with this. Only 39 probes.
Oh, Jaedong! That should be enough. No, maybe not. Maybe he's just thinking third base. But that is definitely going to let him know something's up. And he will be looking.
This is such an uneconomic all-in, though. He's mining off both simulators, while he's not even on 44 probes. This is crazy. Like, he's not even fully saturated his mineral line.
Wow, somehow Genius gets those units out without Jaedong seeing it. Oh, but he is going to see this. He has been walled in, and that should definitely queue up some roach production. There it is, 5 roaches immediately. The Void Rays will be difficult to deal with, Kevin. There's only 3 queens on the map.
We have any queen. There's an additional queen on the way, a couple of roaches in production as well. Jaedong just needs to buy a little bit of time for himself. Picking up this creep tumor is massive.
Yes, it is.
That is very, very big. That means that it's going to be a little easier. He can also get pylons even closer than they are right now.
Wow, this is very nerve-wracking for Jaedong. There's a Protoss army on his creep.
9-minute mark.
6 roaches on the way. There's not that much out for Jaedong. He has got to engage well, or else he's going to be in so much trouble.
Mothership Core taking a lot of damage immediately. Prismatic alignment being used on all Void Rays at once.
Mothership Core will go down. Yes, it does fall. A good pick off for Jaedong, but the Void Rays are still unaccounted for. 8 more roaches on the way out. Jaedong's not injecting right now, Kevin. If he doesn't have larvae, he can't produce units. 10 more roaches about to spawn, but everything in the third base has fallen. This is a very dangerous moment for Jaedong.
Well, if these queens fall, there's almost no way to deal with these Void Rays anymore. Beautiful micro as well at the moment by Genius.
Void Rays are taking a lot of damage. Jaedong is doing this as well as he can, but it is looking harder and harder every second of the way. Roach is trying to come down from behind. There is too much Protoss here, Kevin. Jaedong is going to lose this third base. He might lose this game.
Wow, this was so fast. A Void Ray all-in which arrives at the 9-minute mark. How often do you see that? Such a low economy from Genius, but it was enough to attack Jaedong while there were barely any units out. And this was sick. And look at the micro on those Void Rays. 1 HP.
Wow,
the other one is like 14
Jaedong
HP.
Never building a single Spore Crawler might have been a costly mistake. Roach is trying to engage, but Kevin, it doesn't matter. Genius is in the natural. Good game! And Jaedong has fallen in his first best of 3 of the day. Genius shows us that he is still one of the most dangerous Protoss players on the planet with a phenomenal, hard to read, and hard-hitting 2-base all-in off of the Stargate opening exactly like you called.
But this was so quick. I didn't expect it to arrive this quick. I didn't expect